did not make as an elaborate of a presentation for the computer as I might have done for my students, because if I had done that, I would have taken too much time here. So, all right, hey, that worked. Now let's see if the clicker works. This works great. So one thing that I really dislike in any kind of a presentation, whether it's school or anything like that, is when people use acronyms or abbreviations and people have sitting in the audience have no idea what you're talking about, right? So you have people here like Annie is brand new. Annie might not. What? No, are you brand new to this? Yeah, right. I just pointed you out. You're one of my students right now. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so I'm a high school woodworking teacher. A lot of you know that. And oh, what did I do? Hey, there you go. All right. Oh, where'd it go? So we'll wait for that. So high school woodworking teacher. And my goal is to very, very soon. In fact, I'm going to make my first presentation to students next week to start a ham radio club at the school. So one thing I like to consider is my audience. ARRL stands for, and most of you know it, the A, Amateur Radio Relay League. That's right. So someone here might not have known that. So never just assume your audience knows what all the abbreviations are. All right, here's going to be the first click, and we're going to see if this thing works. And the answer is no. Can you advance? You can advance. All right. It's good to be advanced. Yeah. All right. All right. Now, can you click on the link? See if the link works. All right. So Ralph did say that the link might be kind of slow, so we're going to watch the hourglass of death there as it comes up. And what I will do is I will look at my phone anyway to see what happens here. Okay, so I went to the ARL Teachers Institute this summer for 4 days. Super cool thing is that it's fully funded by donors. So there's great ARL members. If you are a member, you are donating to a degree. But there's people that give thousands and thousands of dollars to the ARL just for this kind of a thing. And so it makes it possible for people to go. Almost everything is covered. And I thank you guys because you guys did donate from the club to me $200 in order to fray some of those expenses that aren't covered. And I really appreciate that. So just looking at what the site says, the ARL Teachers Institute on Wireless Technology is a donor-funded professional development program designed to help classroom teachers elevate their STEM programs. S is science, T is technology, E is, and M is. And what do some schools include in there by calling it STEAM? The A is art. That's right. So in this case, it really is technology driven. So that as a part of the ARL Education and Technology program, several sessions are conducted each year, and the program continues to grow. Teachers Institute is filled with lecture, hands-on activities, and demonstrations, blah, blah, blah. The great thing, actually, if we can click forward, I think we're just going to go forward to the next thing and skip this. It's not working. Oh, this is killer. All right. Well, that's sad. But hey, that's going to reduce my time with you, okay? All right. So I had all kinds of great pictures of the things that I got there. And the very first thing is walking into the ARL's facility, the main building. Take a look at that picture. Okay, it's not there. And then walking up to my desk. So there were probably, I think, 18 teachers there from all over the country. I was one of 2 New Hampshire teachers. The other teacher was from, we'll call it the west coast of New Hampshire. She lives on the Connecticut River. Has a really nice place there, by the way. Oh, look at that. Hey, if we can click on that first picture, and then we'll just do a slideshow from there. Hey, look at that. Can we make it big? All right. Well, you can kind of see it. So unfortunately, it's not my classroom at school where you're all kind of right at the front here. All right. Hey, that's the main building. How many have been there? All right, good. A good number of you. Super cool to go to if you've never been before. And we're getting closer. So that's cool. Don't yell at me if I'm taking up tonight's speaker's time. All right. Second cool thing is I walked in with the other teachers. Those teachers, many of them weren't hams at that point. I believe at the end of our week together that everyone that was not a ham left a ham, even though they didn't teach people how to be a ham. They had to study on their own in order to take their test while they were there at the ARRL. All right, that's the main building. And then when I walked in and went to my desk, the next picture, oh, okay, that's the other building. That's the kind of original building, built in 1938. It seems like I skipped something, but somehow now it's kind of random. That's inside the original building, which is not the original. The original was built in 36 and wiped out with a huge flood. And they never found the original tower, by the way, which is kind of interesting. So this is inside the very antique building from 1938. And you can see that there's non-antique equipment there. And if we click forward, hopefully we'll start to see some of the memorabilia there. So that's a lot of that celebrating the founder, Mr. Maxim. And then if we continue on, you can see some really modern equipment inside this building. You can see this is balloon tracking, weather balloon tracking, super cool stuff. And if I go back to the Teachers Institute, that's one of the classes I can take. All right, click forward and another picture of it. We can click. All right, that's some of the modern equipment in there to monitor that monitor. Go ahead and click again. And then some not so modern equipment. So there's some people in here that might be able to identify these things. And there's some people in here that can't imagine having a wooden cabinet surrounding the piece of equipment that you're trying to use. And click and some more. Now it's starting to look like my dad's house. Click and click. Really cool old stuff. And click. And there's an old office desk. I'm assuming that was Mr. Maxim's, the founder's desk. What's that? Oh, well, there you go. Hey, I've got who has a little lunchbox here? Anybody have a little lunchbox? Okay, back there. Yeah, there you go. I got one. All right, continue. All right, another picture. Let's continue. Picture of Mr. Maxim and a little bit more fun stuff. Click, click. Hey, transmitter bay. I'd love to have that sign. All right, now it's starting to look like AC1J's backyard. And some of your backyards, I'm sure. Click. All right, and then, so you're saying online cannot see this? Oh, awesome, awesome. So you can see memorial stuff here and information about people that were big givers or heavily involved in the ARL. Click. And nice, that's super cool. Who wouldn't want that built into their sidewalk, right? All right, click. All right, click. And this is their library. And my understanding is if you wanted to borrow something from their library, you can do that. I believe they'll actually ship it to you. All right, click. And guess what? This looks like my dad's bedroom. Every single issue of QST ever from the beginning till now. All right, okay, his only goes back pretty far, but not that far. Okay, click, click, and all right, so this is in the room, and I don't know, maybe somehow it got skipped or we'll see it later, and that's the picture of all this stuff that was on my desk. That's where I was going. I had this pile of stuff for every teacher that walked in, all kinds of free to us equipment that was donated to us. So I got an FT70D. I already have one, but guess what? It's going to be for school. I got the other version of the Quanshang. It begins with an R, a red, yeah, something like that. All right, and then they gave us a Raspberry Pi. It was tasty. So they gave us the latest and greatest Raspberry Pi. That's not cheap, right? With the heat sink that we had to put together on it. And we use that to then hook up to a computer to do all kinds of cool things, including go on Chirp. And everybody got to learn how to program radios, which was a lot of fun. And if I didn't have somebody walk me through that, you know, it's kind of nice to have somebody personally. You could probably figure it out on your own. Many of you have. So this was us programming using Chirp to program our foxes for our fox hunt that we had there. We had 8 foxes, for those of you that know what a fox hunt is. And if there's time and I'm allowed, I will show you a quick fox hunt. All right, continue. And hey, they've got rabbits. Continue. All right. Hey, this was fun. Watch this. If the video works, and spinny wheel of death. Just fun things that you can do with your students. Since it's not running, you might know what that is. What is that thing going to do? Make coffee. Yes. No, what it's going to do is it's got a wire here, and it's got the wire is spun here. It's put into a, what's the word I'm looking for? Coil, and two magnets on a battery. Hey, look at that. Right? Just fun little things that we're all going to build with our students, but just to give us ideas, right? Mine was the fastest, best moving one out of all those 18 students. Was I competitive? Absolutely. But my kids will go nuts for this kind of stuff. There is no electronics class at all, anything not even really closely related in my CTE. CTE is Career Technology Education department at my school. The video is kind of blurry there, but actually it's much better if we weren't on the interweb right now. You can click and, oh, hey, look at that. Click. That's what it looks like when it's still. All right. And then starting to build stuff. So they went through some kits with us, which were real fun. These kind of kits, hey, that's fun for a kid that's never touched anything, right? Because you're just poking the pieces in and they're making the connection. You can explain circuits. Go on to the next. Next. I don't know why I have all that. Hey, this was fun. So I hadn't soldered in a little while. And of course, it's a beast a lot of times to solder in those, those chips. But everything worked when I was done, which was really fun. And click, and it put together that thing. It's a radio. Yeah, it's an FM radio. Very good. And you should have seen us as adult students jumping up and down once you get the thing together and starting to hear local radio stations coming through that. Isn't that fun? Yeah, absolutely fun. Just this tiny little thing. And by the way, it's this big. When I was a kid, the Walkman was this big and this thick, right? So super cool. All right, next. All right, same thing. Go ahead. And then more parts, more fun stuff. So you can see here the guts of something coming up in the next picture. And the next picture is, hey, a Fox Hunt offset attenuator. Ooh, cool, right? How many of you have one of those? All right, I figured new course you would. All right, so that's going to go on the end of your Yagi as you are searching for the Fox. Okay, so the Fox is sending out a signal. It sounds like a song, but of course we don't play music on radio or at our radios, but it's putting out a digital kind of singy-songy thing. And every so often it's putting out a Morse code signal on there, an identifier, which is, what is that identifier going to be? Well, it could have been. It's going to be a ham that is programmed in their call sign, so it's legal to be broadcasting. All right, next. And so this is a map. These are over the last few years the people that have the TI, and I can be happy to tell you that I was the first to put one in for New Hampshire. Isn't that crazy? Where's the ARRL? Connecticut, no, Newington, Connecticut. So you would think that there'd be tons of them stuffed all over New Hampshire. And the other lady, I don't know when she was going to put her pin in. Next. All right. So then we built a quarter wave ground plane antenna. Go ahead, next. And just out of simple wires, okay? Who can't do that? It's really fun. You get to do some real soldering there because you're doing some heavy solder in this case, not light soldering. Go ahead, next. And hey, by the way, there I am, W1FMF, New Hampshire, next. And there is the Yagi, and this is for the Fox Hunt attached to my new FT70D. And of course, if you have one of those, along the bottom is a signal strength indicator, which is really cool when you're doing a fox hunt and you are hunting around for that little digital transmitter that's hidden in the woods in order to find that. And there was one other that I think found it the other week when it was hidden at Pulpit Rock. That person in here? I can't remember who that was. No. All right, go out and look for those when we have opportunity. Next. All right, more antennas, and there's hawks and big birds all over the antennas there. It's crazy. There's a huge one right there just watching us while we're out playing radio. Next. There it is again, the setup next for the Fox Hunt. Hey, this is a letter. I won't read it to you, but I do want to read it to you because this is a donor, and we all wrote a letter to a donor as possible. This guy, as it turned out, was K1PAD, Richard Beebe, excuse my handwriting, in Hollis. Anybody know that guy? No. Oh, well. So obviously he's got some money. He's handing out money to this. And in here, I tell the story of this old guy, AC1J, and how this old guy in 1957 saw radio in the back corner of his woodworking shop, and how that changed that old man's life. And I think I told that story before, and I always kind of choke up. And then how he went on to be a successful engineer, and how I'm thankful that this guy and people like him make it possible to do this. All right, next. All right, hey, W1FMF stuck right there. That's me. All right, next. Up next. And hey, there's that Fox. Super cool. Those things aren't cheap, by the way, are they? Right? I mean, relatively compared to the stuff you guys, some of you are using. Next. And Redivis, that's the brand of the radio, the other radio they gave us. Hey, this is when I took that quarter wave antenna home, and I thought, I'm going to try it out at home. It's something that we built really toward the end. And that's the stand, the PVC stand, only about this tall that we put it on. I said, hey, I'm going to shoot it up in the air. Next. I shot it up in the air, and you guys who were on the 2-meter net that night that I first put it up said, I sounded better than I ever had before. Put that thing 30 feet in the air, and it worked better than any store-bought antenna. And I have like 3 different 2-meter antennas that I've put up in the air. So that's pretty cool. And explaining that to kids is going to be a riot, right? I can send up a store-bought one, and then after that, send up one of theirs, and bingo, bango, bongo. That's going to be fun. Next. And I don't know if there is a next. There is no next. All right. I'm not going to do it because I don't think there's time. I want to be fair to our speaker tonight. But I do have a video that I put on there. If we were going to watch it, it's about 4 minutes. But you guys can find it on the GSARA site of the fox hunt that my wife and I went on, which was really fun. And if you watch that video, you'll see how I'm going to draw the kids in, because I will show them that video to get them interested, and they will be. And I've already got kids that are ready to go. And then I will make videos of them doing that, because that will excite them. And then that will draw in even more kids. So we'll have a batch of young hams, hopefully soon. And then, of course, they have to study. Oh, one picture I did not put in here was that they sent me a huge box of every ARRL manual that you guys would love to have, including the study books for getting your ham license. But all the really cool books, and then they gave me copies of other ones for online use. So that's it. Thank you for your time.